Hi, my name's Moyra Cosgrove and I'm the Head of Nutrition for Naturecan. Naturecan is one of the leading CBD brands in the UK and Europe. Now, it's really interesting that CBD in the last few years has gone from being a relatively unknown compound to what is becoming a global health and well-being phenomenon. And just at the moment, it seems like everybody, everywhere, is talking about CBD. So why is that? Well, the word is out that CBD is helping a lot of people with common health conditions. So from anxiety and stress reduction to a reduction in joint or muscle pain, and even helping people to sleep better. So this is where this interest is coming from. So if you've been wanting to try CBD for yourself, but you really don't know where to begin, I'm going to address a few of the most frequently asked questions to help you to try and get the most benefit out of this natural plant extract. CBD is an abbreviation of cannabidiol or cannabidiol, whichever way you want to pronounce it, really doesn't matter. But it's one of 140 cannabinoids in the cannabis plant. You can take CBD as an oil, you can take it in capsule form if you prefer. There are also many edibles available, such as cookies, chocolate, gummies, just about anything you can think of food-wise, you'll find a product with CBD. There's also skincare products, such as balms for joints, for example, if you have joint aches and pains, and moisturizers as well. Now, there is some confusion about CBD, so I'd like to really dispel a couple of those myths. Firstly, CBD cannot get you high. It is non-intoxicating from a psychoactive perspective, so that won't happen. Secondly, CBD is legal and it doesn't contain any controlled cannabinoid at all, so you can be assured of that. And then thirdly, there are more and more clinical studies being conducted to try and show the benefits of CBD in humans. To take CBD as an oil, it's best taken underneath the tongue. So you will take the dropper and literally put a drop or 2 drops of CBD underneath the tongue. The reason that this is a good way to take CBD is that under the tongue is a very rich supply of blood vessels. So you get rapid absorption and the CBD doesn't have to go through the digestive system. So it's a very good way to get it into the bloodstream quickly. So when you've put your drop under the tongue, give it about a minute or 2 before actually swallowing or taking a sip of water. And that will give the CBD a good opportunity for the best absorption. Each individual will vary in terms of how much CBD is right for them, and it will depend on the severity of any health condition they may have. So we suggest starting slow and building up the dosage to find what is right for you. So for example, with the 10% CBD oil, you may want to start with taking 2 drops 3 times a day. Firstly, it's important to remember when we're using the dropper that a drop doesn't mean the whole pipette. It just literally means 1 drop or 2 drops from that pipette. CBD oil is very safe. Unlike THC, which is the intoxicating control cannabinoid, it will not make you high. It's also not addictive, so the safety profile is very good. The Naturecan CBD oil is tested all the way along from finished product, from raw material right through to the finished products it's used in. And this is to ensure that the CBD oil has non-detectable levels of THC. Like most nutritional supplements, CBD is not recommended in under 18s or in pregnant or breastfeeding women, or in anyone who's taking prescription medication, who really should check with their doctor first before taking CBD. The maximum recommended dosage of CBD per day currently is 70 milligrams, and that will be across all the different forms of CBD that you may be taking. If you look on the Naturecan website, you'll find recommendations for staying under that 70 milligrams per day by combining products. So for example, you might take an oil, you might take some gummies, and you might have a cookie. And this will give you the advice you need to stay under the 70 milligrams per day. The effective dosage of CBD will vary from person to person, and of course weight and height may play a role, and the severity of the health condition they may be taking it for. So it wouldn't be a question of one dosage will fit everyone, and of course this is the situation with many medications and nutritional supplements. Depending on which form you're taking, you may wish to start at around 20 milligrams per day. What we do recommend is starting low and increasing slowly until you get to the dosage that is suiting your condition best. If you've been taking CBD for a few weeks and are tolerating it well, which you should, but still feel that you could increase the dosage a little bit more to gain some more of the benefits that you've been experiencing, you can do this safely up to a maximum of 70 milligrams per day. If you look on the Naturecan website, you'll find recommendations for staying under that 70 milligrams per day by combining products. So for example, you might take an oil, you might take some gummies, and you might have a cookie. And this will give you the advice you need to stay under the 70 milligrams per day. Many people have reported seeing benefits when they take CBD oil from conditions such as anxiety and stress, which they find to be reduced, from reducing pain in joint and muscle, for example. And also, people are finding it very helpful with sleep. The entourage effect has been attributed to the benefits from plant-based CBD, because this will contain many different cannabinoids of varying levels. So some studies have suggested that these cannabinoids act together to give a better effect. This would not be seen with a synthetically produced single molecule CBD. If you're taking other medication, it's always advisable to talk to your doctor first before taking CBD. CBD is legal, unlike the control cannabinoid THC, but as the CBD oil from Naturecan has non-detectable levels of THC, CBD is legal. If you want rapid absorption, the CBD oil is rapidly absorbed from under the tongue. So that is a very good way of taking it, but really the choice is yours. If you enjoy a cookie, you can get the benefit of CBD there. If you like the gummies, again, they're available for you. There's so many ways of taking it, and you can mix together, but staying under that maximum recommended dose of 70 milligrams a day. CBG is another of the cannabinoids in the cannabis sativa plant, and it's also non-intoxicating, like CBD. Now, CBG is very interesting. It's been described as the mother of cannabinoids because it's quite quickly converted into different cannabinoids, like CBD, for example. But the research that's happening at the moment around CBG is finding that it may act in the body in different ways to CBD and other cannabinoids. Well, with CBG, it seems to have an effect on alpha-2 adrenoceptors, and you may wonder what they are, but the impact of that seems to be on a neurotransmitter called noradrenaline, which you possibly have heard of. And the impact of reducing noradrenaline may have a beneficial effect on blood pressure. It may have a beneficial effect on anxiety and stress, and also on inflammation. So there's much interest in research on the action of CBG at the moment. CBD is involved with the endocannabinoid system, or the ECS for short. And this has been described as the master regulator of systems in the body that control our homeostasis. So in other words, how we keep on an even keel in terms of our temperature, our blood pressure, the amount of fluid in our body, all of those things are very finely balanced in order to keep us alive and keep us in good health. But the endocannabinoid system, we're finding, seems to play a role in orchestrating those body systems for good health and well-being. Many people have reported it to be beneficial in pets. We currently cannot recommend it in the UK in pets due to legislation.